When you ask people about the real estate market, generally the response that you get is an opinion. Even when you ask the professionals, a lot of times the response that you get is an opinion, because a lot of the time, even the professionals don't fully understand the market, nor do they take the time to understand the data that would really help them answer that question. So if you are wondering how the real estate market is doing in the Philadelphia area or Montgomery County area, then this video is for you, because today we're going to unpack data. We're going to take a look at how the real estate market performed throughout the first quarter in 2024. Not only are we going to take a look at that data, but we are also going to compare that data to Q1 of 2023 so we can see exactly where the market is going. But we're going to take it a step further, and we're also going to look at the data for Q1 of 2019. And if you're asking yourself, Chris, why does that even matter? Well, 2019 is the last year that we had real estate from January 1 to December 31st uninterrupted. Because, well, COVID came around and in 2020 shut the real estate market down, which skewed the numbers. So hopefully 2019 will give us an idea of exactly where the real estate market is going in 2024. So some of the data that we're going to look at to help paint a picture regarding the real estate market are the overall sales volume, days on market, the list price to sale price ratio, and we're even going to take a look at exactly what types of financing is being used to get the properties to the settlement table. So let's start by taking a look at the amount of units sold. And it's pretty easy to figure out. The units sold literally is the amount of homes that sold in that given time frame. And again, this is Q1 information for all of the years that we're going to go over. So let's start by taking a look at the amount of units sold in both Philadelphia and Montgomery County. And if we take a look at the data for the city of Philadelphia, in 2024, there were 2,832 sales, and the year prior was 2,992 sales. But if we take a look at 2019, there were 3,038 sales all within the first quarter. Now let's take a look at Montgomery County. For Q1 in Montgomery County, we saw 1,459 sales compared to last year's 1,524 sales. And going back to 2019, we had 1,871 residential sales. So if you take a look at all of those moving mechanics, you can see that in 2019, there was definitely more sales at the end of the day. At the end of Q1, there were more homes that sold overall. So we're still seeing homes sell at a pretty decent pace, but not like we saw prior to the pandemic. Now, when it comes to overall sales volume, so if we were to take all of those homes that sold and we were to add up all of the sale prices, that would give us the overall sales volume. So there was roughly $893 billion in overall sales volume. Compared to 2023, it was a staggering $972 billion. But then comparing that to 2019, it was $774 billion. Now, this paints a picture, and I'm going to explain in just a second, but now let's take a look at what happened in Montgomery County. So in Montgomery County, there was about $731 billion in sales volume for 2024 Q1. Compared to 2023, there was about $700 billion, and then going all the way back to 2019, there was $593 billion. Now, as I mentioned, there was something interesting about these numbers, because if you go back and you take a look at the overall sales units, which are the numbers we just went over, we all can see that in 2019, for both the city of Philadelphia and Montgomery County, there were more sales that year than they were in 2024, which would lead one to believe that the overall sales volume would also be less. Less homes sell, meaning the less sales volume there should be, right? But that's not the case. So what that tells me, or what that shows, is that homes have appreciated so much in such a short time frame that even though we removed hundreds, if not thousands of sales from both Philadelphia and Montgomery County, the overall sales volume of adding those sale prices up has continued to climb. So since we're talking about sales volume, let's talk a little bit about what the average sale prices were. In the city of Philadelphia, Q1 2024, the average home sale price was right around $309,000 compared to $317,000 Q1 last year, and only $255,000 in 2019. Compared to Montgomery County in 2024, the average home sale price was about $505,000, and the year prior was about $458,000. But taking a step back to 2019, the average sale price was only $317,000. So in Philadelphia, from 2019 to 2024, it's about a difference of $55,000 in the average sale price and about $185,000 in the average sale price for Montgomery County. So if you bought a home in 2019, regardless if you were in Montgomery County or Philadelphia County, you're probably doing well when it comes to equity, because again, you can see the numbers have just continued to go up. But if we take a look at the average days on market, which means how long does it take for a home to sell, not for a home to convey to the new owner, but how long does it take for a home to go under contract from the time a home is listed in the MLS, meaning it's available for the general public, to the time they actually sign the contract and put in the MLS that the home is no longer available. That's what's referred to as your days on market. And in Philadelphia, so far, Q1 2024, we're seeing about 55 days on average, 55 days on market, which is down from last year where the average days on market was about 58 days. But in 2019, it was only 52 days in the city of Philadelphia. So kind of went up, and then it appears to be coming back down. But for the most part, I think that's a surprising number. Most people tell you that homes are flying off the shelf, but on average in Philadelphia, they're not. And it's interesting how just the next county over, literally Montgomery County, the numbers are significantly different. The average days on market for 2024 so far in Montgomery County is only 28 days. And last year was 31 days, and going back to 2019, it was 58 days. So things in Montgomery County are moving significantly faster now. As a matter of fact, they're selling at about half the amount of time that it was taking back in 2019, where in the city of Philadelphia, although the numbers have moved, it's still taking people roughly the same amount of time to sell a home in the city of Philadelphia as it did pre-pandemic. And most people that tell you the homes are just flying off the shelf, which it does feel like in some markets, they're also going to tell you that you're probably going to have to offer the seller more than asking, because that's been such a common theme over the last few years. But is that really the case today? And I think you're going to be surprised that the data that I have, not only for Philadelphia, but Montgomery County, shows that that is not the case. So if we take a look at the average sale price to list price ratio, meaning how much did the home sell for in comparison to the actual list price? Did it go above asking or did it go under asking? And that's what we're going to take a look at right now. So in 2024 in Philadelphia, the average sale price or list to sale price ratio is about 94.4%. So if you listed your home for $100,000 in Philadelphia, theoretically, you're going to get about $94.4 thousand. So $94,400. But if we take a look at last year, it was about 92.8. So using the same list price of $100,000, you probably would get an offer somewhere around $92,800. And going back to 2019, you were at about 94.3%, or $94,300 in the scenario of $100,000 list price. Let's take a look at Montgomery County. Are sellers getting over asking in Montgomery County today? The answer is they're not. As a matter of fact, right now, they're getting close, but they're not getting over asking. Sellers in Montgomery County are getting about 99.3% of their asking price. So a home in Montgomery County listed for $100,000 would end up getting an offer very close to that, about $99,300. Again, if you were to compare that to Philadelphia, it's $94,400. In Montgomery County last year for 2023, sellers were getting about 98.4%. So right now, 2024 seems to be performing better, or homes seem to be selling closer to list price in 2024. But if we take a step back to 2019, sellers in Montgomery County were getting about 94.9%, which is very close to what sellers in Philadelphia are getting right now. So it's pretty interesting when you look at that raw data, because again, most people will tell you homes are selling for over asking, but the data shows that they're not. And the last thing that I want to go over, because everyone will tell you that cash is king. And don't get me wrong, cash is king. It usually will have your offer stand out. But how many homes are actually selling cash? So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down, and we're going to take a look at how many homes sold cash, conventional, FHA, and VA, because those are the most common ways to either purchase or finance a property. So in the city of Philadelphia, Q1, we saw about 31%, 878 homes sold cash. So 31% of all the sales were cash, but about 51% of those home sales were actually financed using a conventional loan. And then less than 13% of them sold using an FHA loan, which equates to about 362 transactions. And then lastly, only 38 homes in the city of Philadelphia for Q1 have sold using a VA loan. It's about 1% of all home sales used a VA loan. But in Montgomery County, we saw about 28% of all home sales use cash. So less cash sales in Montgomery County in comparison to Philadelphia, not by much, but there is a difference. There are less cash sales. And when it comes to conventional made up about 62.7% of all sales used a conventional loan product. About 4.5%, which was 66 homes sold using an FHA loan, and only 2%, which is twice the amount of Philadelphia, but only 2% of homes that sold in Montgomery County used a VA loan. So yes, cash still is prominent. There's a lot of cash out there, but both in the city of Philadelphia and Montgomery County, conventional seems to be the most widely used product to finance a home. So you will continue to see cash sales, but I think the data here shows that you still stand a really good chance if you're not a cash buyer, and maybe you can go conventional or FHA. So there's the data. That's how the real estate market is performing. So if you were asking that question, at least now you know. Well, only for Philadelphia and Montgomery County. But if you have any questions about the real estate market, whether it's Philadelphia or Montgomery County or any of those surrounding counties, feel free to reach out, let me know. As a matter of fact, in the description of this video, you can actually carve out 15 minutes for free, 15-minute consultation with me to talk anything real estate related. And if you're interested in knowing the value of your home, there's a link in the description for that as well. And buyers, don't think that I forgot you. Of course I couldn't forget you. There's also a free buyer guide for you to download. So all you have to do is visit the comment section, click the link, fill out a little bit of info, and that guide is yours. I'm Chris Nelson, the team lead of the Nelson Home Group, helping buyers and sellers achieve their real estate dreams here in the greater Philadelphia area. Until next time, take care.